I still don't have an intro, but here's one. Hey everybody, this is Owlsley Sprocket here, and we are here in Leaf Blower Revolution, the idle game. It's another one of those games that I just saw on Steam, and was like, yeah, you know, I don't feel like playing a whole, 20, 30, 50, 90 part series right now. Let's just play a random fun game, shall we? And this is a game about blowing leaves, so let's do it. I've got a local save that is basically just what I was playing to check it. Oh, and I was away for 43 seconds. You shouldn't be rewarded for doing nothing, but this is an idle game, so here you go. Get 54 basic leaves. Amazing. And if we take a look, we just, with our mouse, control this little man who blows the leaves around. And for everyone we get off of the screen, we get a little +1 leaf point. Perfect. Oh, we saved the game, that's good. Alright, we've got a couple of things. We've got a tool shop here. So right now, all we have is our hands, which is pushing away leaves with your bare hands. So much fun. And the blow power is 1, and it has a range of 1. But obviously, in order to get something a little bit stronger, we can spend 50 leaves right here, and we get a small leaf rake. Pushing away leaves with a rake, guess you're doing it wrong. Yeah, fair. And this is twice as effective, so let's give this a shot. What? I got a green thing, an apple or something. That is so much more powerful. Look at that go. I'm getting a encoding overloaded message again, which can't be right, I don't think. For the leaf blower game. Oh, I have 700 leaves. Holy cow. I'm so good at pushing away leaves with a rake. That's impressive. And what's this down here? The leaf shop. Trees can drop gold leaves is 10,000. Spawns 1 more leaf per tree each step. Oh, I see. And leaves drop 1% faster. So, this is some weird universe where we want leaves to grow faster, which is kind of funny. Funny to think about. Yeah, because we are starting to run a little bit out, just from what I can see in the background. Can I afford the better rake? I can. For 500, I get a large leaf rake. Better, but it still feels wrong. Yeah, you're right. You know, usually you rake them all together in the same spot. That is a lot faster. But obviously... Oh, I can just do this. This is how I go out in the yard and rake. Cool. So in that case, I'm gonna start buying some trees. We've raked 1,000 leaves. Great news. I'm gonna buy a bunch of trees. And some fertilizer. Because obviously, the more of that we get, the more stuff will just spawn, which means I can just do this. I mean, this is obviously seems like a more effective way to do it, maybe, but no, let's do it right. Rake the leaves away so they're not all over the place. There we go. And this is, for the most part, the game. But that's okay, because this is an idle game. This is what's to be expected. This is the game loop. And we're already up to 500 leaves again, so we're doing pretty good. Yeah, I think actually, can I use numpad? Oh, perfect. I can just use my numbers to activate that. Add nuclear fuel to your tools for more blowing power. Yes, please. Automatic leaf blower. You can do some leaf marketing. Amazing. No, let's just buy some more fertilizer. Which increases the drop chance. There we go. This is wonderful. We're already up to 300 leaves. We're so good at raking. I think the shape of the leaf did change maybe for a moment when I hit 420. Which could just be my mind making that up. But if that is the case, then that's a very funny touch. But I think I might have made that up. Hard to say. And we've got 500 leaves. So I think some more... Let's get an automatic leaf blower in here. We can get up to 3 of those. But, I mean... Hey, we may as well get 1. And in a moment... Yep, there he goes. Working for us. We've already gotten a ton of leaves raked, which is impressive. Oh, he does need to take a break every now and then, but that's okay. Alright, and I think I need 1,000 for the next tool, which is, I think, what I want to get. Let's see here in the tool shop. Oh, I actually need 5,000 for the next tool, which I think is actually a leaf blower, which would be amazing news. So I'm just going to kind of work on this in the meantime. As some of you may know, I do live in Maine, and because of all of our trees, this is actually what our life is like during the fall. You know, we just stand outside for about a month and a half and rake the leaves for forever. Otherwise, we drown in the leaves. There's so many of them. It's a scary time. It's honestly something that we should put in the brochures, but we don't. And here I am, just pushing some more leaves away. We've almost hit 2,000 leaves. Wonderful. Well, we've got another pair or something. I'm going to check these things up here. So I've got some achievements that I'm making progress on. I want to get resources for doing the achievements. So let's do that. And I need 10,000 leaves for the next step of that achievement. Oh, and I can just click claim all at the bottom there. Let's just click that real quick. There we go. We've got settings up, options up there. The supporter shop if we want to. The lore. There's lore. The journey begins. Well, it's that time of year again. The leaves are starting to fill up the yard, so I've been out there getting rid of what I can. It's the strangest thing, though. The more leaves I get rid of, the more I find next time. While this in itself is perplexing, I'm more bewildered that I find the work enchanting. In some way, they're just leaves. Nothing special about them at all. And I can't seem to pull myself away from clearing them. You don't need to clean the leaves. They're either incredibly clean already or dirty, in which case, that's why you're getting rid of them. Alright, I've hit 2,500 leaves. Let's take another look in the leaf shop and see if there's anything here that would be worth getting. Faster, one more leaf per tree each step. The thing is obviously, if I get these at higher levels, then I'll get more leaves to spawn, and then I'll be able to clear more leaves away, which is great news. And I will buy more nuclear fuel, too, for my rake. Because I just strap some uranium on here, and that makes it rake faster. Great news. Yeah, it's funny because, unlike actual leaf management where the best thing you can do is go very uniform. Actually, I should test that. One of the best things you can do when you're actually getting rid of leaves in real life, in case you're a leaf novice, is do it a bit uniformly, because then you actually get some good patches to look good, and you're able to get a better idea of your management of your work. Obviously, leaves are infinitely spawning here, which is, like I said, what I'm usually used to, but, you know, it's usually not quite as fast as this. And there's usually more of us. This is... A lot of people will say that, Maine children, we were actually raised to grow potatoes. And every child never actually, went to school, they just went to a potato farm where they worked their entire childhood. It's not true. It's actually leaf farms like this. We did this. All summer, all fall, winter sometimes. The spring was the only time when there weren't leaves on the ground, usually. And in those situations, well, people would just come along and tear the leaves off of the tree so that we could feel something. I've got another achievement. What's this one for? For getting fruits. There are a lot of achievements. I'm just going to press the claim all button. That seems to be the best thing to do. Yeah, while it seems like doing it uniformly sometimes has some effect, just doing this also seems to work pretty okay. Which, if I could break dance and do yard work at the same time, too, that would be amazing. It's not a perfect strategy, but it works well enough. Man, this is actually giving me PTSD, though, because of all garden implements and ways to get rid of leaves, rakes are really one of the worst ways to do it. Just because I remember spending so much time, using rakes to just slowly but surely trying to clean up the yard, and then one breeze would come through, and everything you just raked up is back in its spot, but worse. It was the most defeated feeling I've ever felt, is just using a rake and seeing all the hard work just blown back to the way it was. Which is pretty much what's happening here, as far as I can tell. Like, maybe it's less that leaves keep falling, and more that the wind is just pushing them back to us. Because we're clearly not pushing them that far off the screen. They're just all flying back in. I also want to mention, as I'm getting closer to 5,000 leaves collected, one of the things that really made me interested in this game is that it had one of my favorite Steam occurrences. There's a lot of games on Steam that people will leave reviews on that are essentially something along the lines of, it's okay, I guess, with 5,000 hours of playtime on their recorded list, which is always the most amazing thing that I ever see, just because it's the idea of spending so much of your life or your CPU on something like an idle game or any game, and then saying, it's okay, I guess. It's just a great idea. Not a great idea, I guess. More like a great joke that's probably worth, the thousands of hours. Yeah, no, it definitely is. Don't think about it too much. Alright, and now I can buy the next tool, which is the leaf blower. Oh yeah. A real leaf blower. Let's go. Just got an achievement for getting the leaf blower, and this thing just, unsurprisingly, is really good at blowing leaves. Who would have thunk it? Oh yeah. It actually reminds me of just about the only time that I've used a regular jetpack leaf blower, and by that I mean a leaf blower with a backpack attached to it. Because let's be honest, all you think about is how cool it would be if that were also a jetpack, so that you could fly around and also just annihilate leaves as you go along. But I remember the one time that I actually used one of these leaf blowers with the backpack. This one doesn't have a backpack, but I think the next one does? Yeah, it seems to. Yeah, when I was using that, I used that once for a job that I worked on, where basically I was hired as a marketer, as a salesman, and within 3 weeks they were like, yeah, we have nothing left to sell, so you're going to do the artwork. I didn't stick with that job for too long for obvious reasons, but I will never forget having to, on my salesman job, be the person who does all the maintenance and yard work too. Because the other fun thing about that was the fact that there was no real place to put the leaves. So I just shoved them through the back of a chain link fence, which is very efficient. It was very well thought out. Alright, I just bought a ton of upgrades, so things are going much faster now. But it has just occurred to me that, looking at the numbers here, I am going to need to get 10,000 leaves in order to get gold leaves to spawn, so that way I can buy the next tiers of upgrades, which is a lot. That's a lot. Oh, and you can go back and equip different items. That's good. Oh, there's a lot more things. There's a whole lot more things. Ooh. What is that second to last thing? What is the last thing even? Is it just an incinerator? Why can't I scroll back up? There we go. We got a blue shovel. We've got an auger. A playing card. There's a lot of different choices there. That's cool. And I'm guessing... No, this actually just has the one tab. Interesting. I feel like we might discover more as we go along. Oh, and more importantly, we do have some more lore. If I scroll all the way back up. The leaf blower. I had to make a run to the store. I realized that just bagging leaves by hand or a small hand rake wasn't going to cut it, so I went and bought a small leaf blower. It really does a trick. I also saw the store was having a special on a new gadget, the automatic leaf blower, or ALB for short. I figured I'd try them out, seeing as I could never quite get all the leaves. And we've already actually done that, because we bought one of those very early on. Maybe earlier than we should have bothered, but anyways. Alright, I'm gonna buy more leaves, more trees I mean, to spawn more leaves. Because the smaller upgrades, even though it's eating up my leaves in the meantime, means we're gonna be able to get the higher upgrades much faster. So, I'm just gonna stay here for a little bit and update you guys if we get anything new. Oh, and I just went into the the skins tab, because I don't know if this was here at first, but there's actually a bunch of things I can spend my little red gems on. I can buy all sorts of angel skins, Santa. I can buy Santa. I can dress up as Santa. That's interesting. And there are some angel and demon skins, but you have to be a supporter for those, which I sadly am not. But just looking in here, I don't know what use means on those, but... Oh, and there's, at the very bottom, there's some just different outfits, which is nice. Alright, I could potentially be making a mistake, but instead of buying the, saving up for the better upgrades, like the gold leaf upgrade, I did just get leaf marketing up 1 and fertilizer up 1, which sounds like it could have just slowed down my time quite a bit, but leaf marketing makes it so that every leaf we get rid of counts as 3 leaves instead of 1, which mathematically I'm not sure how that works, but it works, so we're not going to question it. I'm just about to hit 10,000 leaves, which means I can buy the gold leaves upgrade, which means trees can now drop golden leaves. Very handy. And we unlock the gold shop, which is even more upgrades. Okay, so we've got a few more things. So that's interesting. All right. So obviously we can get more trees with the gold shop, although they obviously spawn a lot less often than regular leaves do. And I've still got a bunch of upgrades I can buy with my regular leaves. And it looks like I saw in there in the gold shop, yes indeed, there's a leaf portal, which means we can restart our whole adventure, which is a choice. Okay. But that's fine. I actually had a bit of a revelation, which is I need to go and take care of something real quick. In which case, I can just leave the game on and put a good little montage on with this beautiful song that I just heard in this game. That I was just vibing to for a solid 5 minutes while getting all those leaves. And if I just, sit here, then theoretically it will, get rid of some leaves for me, which is great news. But yeah, I'm just gonna go do that thing that I need to do, and then I can come back and we can keep going with this. Alright, I just came back from what I need to do, and I can see that I have somehow doubled the sheer number of leaves that I've collected in just sitting here in the same spot. And through just wiping my screen very quickly just now, I just increased that by another, 25k. Which is pretty impressive. But we are getting gold leaves at a much slower rate. Which means... we probably want to invest in some of these upgrades. I think I'll start with getting one of each of those, and then I can just afford higher chance to spawn gold leaves. Because that will, in essence, make us spawn much more gold leaves, which is very helpful. And then I can obviously buy some of these other upgrades in the meantime. I'm going to save up for leaf marketing, because that seems to just be one of the best options on here. Oh, we've got an achievement to collect 2 in the meantime, so let's claim that and see if I can find it. I think it must have been fruits, or time played. No, it wasn't time played. It must have been number of fruits collected. And I can afford leaf marketing tier 3, which is very nice, because that means every leaf counts as 4 leaves, which is, again, probably scientifically impossible, but that's okay, because there's also no capacity on how many of those ranks I can get. So, it seems pretty good. Alright, with a little more, I'm already back up to the point where I can, say, buy another tree, and buy some more gold plant upgrades. Let's get gold apples and see what that does, and more trees. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Gold apple just gave me 100 gold leaves. Very, very nice to see. Oh, sweet. Alright, let's spend some of that, shall we? We can buy more ALBs, we can buy more nuclear fuel. Combo duration? Let's buy a rank of combo duration. And obviously, more leaves and more fertilizer and more trees. That all sounds perfect. And we've got an achievement for gold leaves, so that's good, because we're starting to work towards more and more things. Excellent news. Alright, I've just about reached the 40-minute mark, which means I want to test something real quickly. Of course, I'll make sure to grab that golden apple first, because that helps us get some very important upgrades. Like, for instance, we're only like 300 away from the better leaf blower, which I think we're just about due for with all of our upgrades. That way we can actually clear the board in a reasonable time. But yeah, what I actually want to do is test something real quick. Sadly, it doesn't quite work. I was hoping that by tabbing out, I'm currently tabbed onto my web browser and refreshing stuff on there. So, I was curious to see if that would actually count as me still playing the game, but sadly, it does not really. I mean, the ALBs still go, but I bet that just logging out would probably work better. So, that's a bit of a shame, but oh well. Alright, I just took a little look through all the different options just to double check, and yeah, it looks like there is no way to just have it on in your browser. Even if you have it in windowed mode, it doesn't like it. But regardless, that's far less important. What is important is I just bought the advanced leaf blower. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright. And I can afford a couple other things. Let's get another ALB. That sounds very helpful. And I've got another achievement for gold leaves. Great news. And yeah, with this thing, it just goes right along and does everything even faster than we were doing it before, which is great news. And I can buy more upgrades in here for some more gold leaves. And I can already afford another upgrade in here, more nuclear fuel, which increases the blowing power and obviously means we're getting far more regular leaves to get these upgrades. And I can see a point where eventually we're going to hit the max amount of fertilizer, trees, and fuel, so that our only real option is going to be slowly spending that on leaf marketing, which obviously makes those come in even faster. And then eventually, once we get a new type of leaf, gold leaves will no longer be the trip point. We'll get tons of them, and we'll be getting so much more of the other thing. And I've got another achievement to claim, so I'll take that for another gem. And basically, we could just keep going for as long as we wanted to. We could even do, right here, a leaf portal and reset the whole thing, and start over from scratch to get some coins. But I think you get the idea. This is a very fun little idle game. Idle games, for the right person, if you enjoy them, definitely a lot of fun. Definitely a good way to spend your time. If you have, if you find yourself in a rut, for instance, like I do every now and then, find myself not wanting to play a game or get involved in a game, then something like this is just a nice, easy way to not think about everything else going on and just, you know, do something. Play a game. And it's especially nice because, obviously, games like Cookie Clicker, you have to, you know, click on the screen, you have to click on your mouse, and that's a bit of a pain. But with this, you can just kind of wave your mouse back and forth. You can let it build up. That's what's really nice, is that you can just if I just sit here for a moment, I can just go through and clean up after that stage instead of just doing this every single time. Or if I want to, I can just get in and clean it up right away. But yeah, that is pretty much everything I believe we will see in Leaf Blower Revolution. Very fun little game. If you like idle games, probably check it out. If you're not a huge fan of those kinds of games, it's probably not going to be your thing. And that's okay. Doesn't need to be. Because this game, it's a nice little way to spend your time if you want to get rid of some leaves without having to go outside. So yes, in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to be nice to people and be awesome out there. And I'll see you in the next one. And maybe we'll see this again. Maybe we'll do something totally different next time.